Yo, Flurs, what's up? It's good to see you. We are live. I'm glad you could make it. It's going to be exciting. We do have a cool panel tonight. We do have Nate. Good
Hello.
to see you, Joe. Good to see you, PJ, and Ryan in the house. How you guys doing?
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Groove-tastic. Well, it's good to see you guys. I'm glad you could make it. We're going to be reviewing a debate, which is exciting because it was between Kingdom in Context.
Sean.
With Ken Heidebrecht versus Dr. Douglas Hamp and Scott Harwell.
Nice.
They were on Donnie's channel, Standing for Truth Ministries. The link is below in the description if any of you guys are interested in subscribing. Really do, because Donnie's an awesome guy. Really well worth it.
I haven't seen much of Sean's content, but I think actually I should start watching it. It seems pretty good so far of what I've seen.
He actually debates quite well, I have to say. I've been watching some of his debates recently, and I like the guy.
But I didn't know he was 40. This guy looks like he's 26. He's like,
he looks young.
The Holy Spirit really helped him, man.
Yeah, he's young. He looks young.
I said, how you doing?
I just like his really calm demeanor. Like, he will never get mad. It's amazing.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a guy that really gets mad, though.
No.
But he does get frustrated. He's like me. We get frustrated when you try and bring a point and the other people don't want to just listen.
Of course.
And we get stern. So I like that about him. But you'll see in the debate tonight, guys, this guy in the corner here, Scott Harwell. He reminds me of almost like an FTFE kind of guy.
Oh, wow. Is that Donnie Walensky? What side is he on?
No, he's the moderator. It's his
Oh,
channel.
he's the moderator. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, he looks a little like FTFE.
No, he's a cool guy. Donnie's a really awesome guy.
Cool. Good to see you, Genki. Gensi, Genki, Genkai, Gensai.
So yeah, Donnie's the moderator. It's his channel, Standing for Truth. So guys, do go subscribe to him. Shout out to him. I'd actually like. That's a channel I would debate on, to be honest. Definitely. Then you got Ken Heidebrecht. He's the other flat earther with Sean KRC. They are debating for the biblical cosmology of the Bible.
Cool.
And then you got Dr. Douglas Hamp. He's a historical biblical scholar.
Ooh.
He actually had Dr. Michael Hauser a few times on his channel as well.
I thought his name was Hemp for a second. I was going to say cool name.
But yeah, it sounds like hemp when they say it though. But you'll see when a debate. It's sad because he tries to change definitions of words.
No doubt.
Yeah. And then Scott Harwell, he just seems to have some weird obsession with trying to muddy the waters of Sean. Every time Sean talks, he would, you see, this is why I don't want to talk to Sean. This is exactly why you do, the same kind of thing.
Bazinga. Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I said Bazinga. But yeah. I think I've seen him before. And if I am remembering, he was pretty annoying that time too. So.
But yeah, it was a good debate though. I wish we could go through the whole debate, but I don't think we can ever get anywhere. But I think what we're going to do is tonight we're going to do something a bit different. Because they're each going to have 5 minutes openings. I think we play the 5 minutes opening. We don't say anything until it's done, and then we can discuss it.
Yeah,
and we do it the same. It might be better because I don't think Donnie will just, strike us or anything for this stuff.
Quickly before you start, then, what do you think this blooming sunflower thing? Sunflower's not facing the sun.
It shows that the sun that you guys have got is fake.
It's either fake or they're turning away because they're not seeing the sun properly. It's
not the right sun. It's the fake sun. That's why.
Yeah, there's something going on now because that's what
weird
flowers do is follow the sun. That's how the mechanism works. They just
Exactly.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to know because I'd only heard about it this morning.
Yeah, it's been quite a chat lately on that. So
Yeah, I did hear people talk about sunflowers, but I just thought they were botanists.
I just want to say hi to everyone in the YouTube land. Thank you for coming. Riley Studios, Jeff Gassed, RWN, Jenky, Miss Mod, Queen Bee, Buttered Biscuits, Killing, Larry Ross, and that's all I see at the moment. But good to see you guys. Thank you for coming. Please hit the likes, share the show, let everybody know we are live.
What's up, Chile?
Yeah, give everybody support on the channel. Ryan's also in there. Oh yeah, Ryan, correct? Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Ryan was in mine out there, and I'd finished the stream and everything. And I'm like, Ryan. So he was the only one left there.
There he is.
I told you I have not been sleeping, and I've been falling asleep.
Oh, is that what it is? So I had to leave you. I did shout you like that. I left you.
And then we got
No
Yo
worries.
Cool in the house. What's up, man? And David John Rivington just popped in as well. Yeah, guys, Dell actually did a response to my challenge. We were laughing at it now before we started the show, where I'm gonna have to make a video on, or we can do the stream on it. But
It's so nonsensical. I think we could probably do it like at the end of this. It's so short.
It's bad. Dell opens up with making my point and showing he doesn't understand physics and debunks his whole argument.
He claims you don't understand it.
But I don't understand.
Well, Sandra did come to mind. Like
No,
my life
you don't understand.
From Dell's, and he was like, "Oh, my head's hot."
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. He's got into damage control.
Oh,
so Riley Studios, thank you for your $2 super chat, man. He says community glue. Thank you for your community glue. Really appreciate it, man. You rock. Okay, before we start, have any of you heard of any of these people besides Sean?
Besides Sean.
What people?
No, yes, Dr. Douglas Hamp. I've seen him before. But
Douglas Ham?
Maybe Scott.
Yeah, I only know Sean. I think I said I think I know Scott, but I could be misremembering. A lot of people wear hats and blue shirts and look old.
But yeah, but we're definitely going to have to do a multiple part series on this debate, because as it progresses, you'll see it gets into some weird territory and stuff. And even in the Q&A, there's some interesting discussions happening there. So we'll probably have to do a multiple session on this. But I mean, we enjoy the biblical cosmology debates anyway. So are you guys ready to start?
Let's do it, Paul.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it play. You can then, each one will have the intro, or they do their 5 minutes. I'll let the intro play for 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about it, like that. Because otherwise, if we're going to stop it every time,
okay,
we won't really hear what they're saying, and then it might take forever to get through.
Near to the bar.
Cool.
For this evening's event, and so we're going to be having fast-paced opening statements. So 5 minutes for each guest. What I'll do is give an audible time at the 5 minute mark. That way you gentlemen can know to take 5 or 10 seconds to kind of wrap up your point and thought there. And then we're just going to jump into, after everybody gives a 5 minute opening statement, we're going to jump into discussion. So discussion, we got 60 minutes. We got lots of time to engage the topic. But we do want to make sure that this is structured. We want to make sure that every guest here has more than enough.
Just say Incarnate Unlimited says, "Shoo, this was a tough lesson." Yeah, it does get kind of tough. But I think it's a good thing to go through and to show exactly how the glow believers think and operate. That's what actually is going to be shown, because it's the usual. Let's try and change what Scripture says and says you're the one changing it. That's pretty clear.
Enough time to make the points that the 2 questions.
Okay, we're just going to get to
30 minutes as we are simulcast here in Truth or at Dump specific some fun. We are now going to get into our opening statements for tonight's biblical cosmology event.
Woohoo!
Ken, you get the first 5-minute opening statement. So please, whenever you're ready, just let me know. We'll start your
All right.
timer.
Yeah, just a heads up. I'm going to be speed reading something that I already wrote ahead of time. So just so people are aware, hopefully they'll keep up with it. But Donnie, you can start right now
Okay,
if you
you're
want.
good to go.
Yep. All right. The main parts of a story consist of 5 elements: characters, setting, plot, conflict, and resolution. The 4 of us are here tonight to discuss the particulars of the biblical setting. I believe that understanding what the creator has to say about the setting is rather important because I view it being directly related to bettering our understanding of the characters, plot, conflict, and resolution within the same biblical narrative. Genesis 1:6-8 says, "And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the water, and let it be a division between water and water, and it was so. And God made the firmament, and God divided between the water which was under the firmament and the water which was above the firmament. And God called the firmament heaven. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the second day." On day 2, the second literal day of Yahweh's creative efforts, God made a structure referred to as the firmament. He then goes on to assert the name he gave this firmament structure, calling it heaven. This structure divided the waters that he created earlier, and in doing so, water was kept up above the firmament and water was kept below the firmament. 2 days later, in Genesis 1:14-19, God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth." And it was so. So God made the 2 great lights, the great light to rule the day and the less light to rule the night, and also the stars. And God placed them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth and to rule the day and the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, a 4th day. Notice that God told Moses he created 2 great lights, the sun and the moon. The stars also get a quick and rather inferior mention, but what God doesn't say is that the sun is a star or that the stars are suns. All 3 are their own unique light kinds. Also notice that these lights were created 4 days after the earth was already established. This should tarnish the reputation of the so-called axiomatic heliocentric model and call to question one of its elemental assertions, that the earth was naturally formed roughly 100 million years after the sun's formation. Now, I know that we aren't debating evolutionary Big Bang cosmology tonight, but the detail I just mentioned is in fact baked into the official heliocentric theory. Another claim that exists within the heliocentric model is the idea that we live within a universe that continues to expand, thus creating more galaxies and solar systems, etc. in the process. However, Yahweh told Moses in Genesis 2:1-2, "Thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their hosts. And on the 7th day God completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had done." Creation was completely finished on day 7, including everything contained within the heavens. Built into the firmamental structure that God called heaven are floodgates. Yahweh used these floodgates to wash the earth clean during the days of righteous Noah. Genesis 7:11 says, "In the 600th year of the life of Noah, in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, on this day all the fountains of the abyss were broken up, and the floodgates of heaven were opened." A chapter later in Genesis 8:2, God uses the same device to halt the outpouring of water upon the earth. According to the Strong's Concordance, the Hebrew word for floodgates is aruba and can be defined as a sluice, which is a sliding gate or another device for controlling the flow of water. Within the very nature of the firmament, we are provided with a mechanical description of a device that controls the flow of the waters that Yahweh contained above the firmament when he first installed the firmament on day 2 of creation week. These are the same waters above that David recognized thousands of years later, as mentioned in Psalm 148:8. Not only did David understand the firmament and how it holds up the waters that got divided on day number 2, he understood the relationship that the firmament has with the sun and its position within the creation model. Psalm 19:4-6 says, "In them, heavens, he has placed a tent for the sun, which is a bridegroom, coming out of his chamber. It rejoices a straw man to run his course. Its rising is from one end of the heavens, and its circuit to another end of them. And there's nothing hidden from its heat." And Sean actually is going to talk about this tent analogy that Paul will talk about in 2 Corinthians later on. The sun runs a course and performs a circuit that starts from one end of heaven and faithfully goes to the other end and back. Nowhere are we to suggest that a globular earth is actually spinning and fulfilling the details laid out in these passages. The tent that David mentions is the covering of the firmament of the heavens that the sun and moon were placed within, as mentioned back in Genesis 1:14-19. Joshua was well aware of how the Creator's model worked, while knowing about it and trusting in what his Creator revealed to Moses years earlier on Mount Sinai. He commanded the following in Joshua 10:12-13. "Then Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day in which the Lord delivered the Amorite into the power of Israel when he destroyed them in Gibeon. and they were destroyed from before the children of Israel. And Joshua said, "Let the sun stand over against Gibeon, and the moon over against the valley of Ajalon." And the sun and the moon stood still until God executed vengeance on their enemies. And the sun stood still in the midst of heaven. It did not proceed to set until the end of one day. Without going into detail, the implications of such an event would have been absolutely catastrophic had God created a heliocentric universe. It would have required the suspension of Earth's spin in order for the sun and moon to stand still in the midst of heaven for a full day. Now, of course, there is no miracle too great for God to work, but in the spirit of Occam's razor, the simplest way to exegete these passages in Joshua is through the lens that all the biblical characters had with regards to the setting that God created.
Okay. Any thoughts on his opening, guys?
Perfect.
I agree 100% with this.
Perfect.
Great summarization. Yeah, no, you went straight to all the right passages and none of the false passages. So yeah, I like it, definitely.
Well, I already watched it, so all I know is you can't use firmament. It's a veil.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. Firmament doesn't mean solid, guys.
Oh,
According to a historical biblical scholar, firmament doesn't mean solid.
Yeah,
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah,
But I'm skipping ahead. I'm sorry. It just
Yeah, we'll get there. But I have to point
weird
out.
how that gas is kept in by a non-solid firmament.
Yeah, it's weird. But it's crazy. I love how Sean actually goes and explains to him, "You're wrong." But yeah, I like what he was saying now in his opening. Spot on.
Absolutely.
I would like to say emphasis on Joshua, which I think is very important for later on.
Yep.
So yeah. Schwartz is with you. Hey, Roger.
Hey, guys.
Roger Boops.
My Schwartz is bigger than yours.
Maybe, I don't go that way, man. I'm down for things like that. My name's not German. I don't have penis.
You're
So-
Schwartz.
Don't tell that to Jake the asshole.
I was going to say, yeah, him and Jaren, the two J's with the two P's out measuring them.
Well, anyway, guys, Ken Heidebrecht's channel is hanging on his words. You can see it in the background. So do go and subscribe to him if you want to. He's also got some awesome content, actually. So definitely well worth it. Guys, ready to go on to Sean's opening?
we love.
Yeah.
Thanks, Donnie.
Yes.
Thank you, Ken. I know those 5 minutes, and that is going to go to your slide up.
There we go.
And so you're good to go. Floor is yours.
Okay. Wonderfully worded. It's hard to follow that up, Ken. Good job. But I would try to add a little bit more. Not only now do we have a definition of what the heavens are, what the firmament is, specifically being called the heaven. Now let's see it used in application of the second coming of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
I love this.
So we see in Isaiah 34, 1-4, this is the prophecy of all the stars of the heaven. Those are the ones that were placed inside the firmament on day 4. Those are being dissolved. And I want you to take note of this word dissolve, because that's going to come up here in a little bit. Also, it says the skies will be rolled open like a scroll, and all their stars will fall like withered leaves from the vine, like foliage from the fig tree. So the analogy here of the figs falling from its tree makes no sense if the stars are not above you in one direction. Whereas heliocentricity teaches that in all 360 degrees around outside of a sphere, the stars exist in every direction. But that's not what the Bible describes. It describes them above your head, placed in the firmament on day 4. So when we go and we continue the same thing here in Isaiah 64, 1-2, Isaiah's grieved over the wickedness in his day, and he's asking for this moment to come quicker, even though it's not going to, because he knew the time and he prophesied the coming of the Lord, the second coming all the time. But he says in 64, verse 1 and 2, if only you would rend the heavens and come down, so the mountains would quake at your presence as fire kindles the brushwood and causes water to boil. So now he's equating this concept of fervent heat coming with the quaking of the mountains when he rends, that's tearing open the heavens to come down. So this is descriptors. Now also it says, so that the nations will tremble at your presence. So these are all qualifiers, second coming of the Lord. The nations will all, this is a Revelation 1:7 moment. Every eye, every tribe will see him coming. Just as the angels said in Acts chapter 1, the same way you see him descend in the clouds, so he will return. This is the second coming of Christ. The heavens are rent, the mountains shake, and fire is associated with this moment. All the nations are also associated with this moment as well. Mark 13, 24 through 27. In those days after the tribulation, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, the stars will fall from the sky. Again, stars will fall from the sky. The stars will not from a 360-degree perspective gravitate towards the earth. They will fall down. They will fall from the sky because they were placed above us in the firmament model, an enclosed creation model. Also, again, the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Christ is repeating prophecies from Isaiah. They see the Son of Man coming in the clouds, like I mentioned, Acts 1, Revelation 19. So to gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of the heaven. The heaven itself, which my teammate Ken has described as an actual solid structure. The rakia in the Hebrew is a solid arched surface. In the stereoma in the Greek is a solid structure, a solid expanse. So this is why even in Exodus 24:12, they're likened unto the God of Israel, and beneath his feet was what he was standing on was as clear as the firmament, as clear as the heaven. Exodus 24:10. So there's a consistency in the description of the firmament model of the structure that it is, an actual structure, which means it does have an end to it. So all the nations that are the ends to the ends of the earth and the ends of the heaven. So in the heliocentric model, there is no ends of the heaven. It's ever expanding, infinitum. That's what we've been taught anyway. It's a lie. 2 Corinthians 5, 1 through 5. Now that we know that if the earthly tent we live in is dismantled, so the earthly tent that we live in is this firmament that enclosed us on day 2, separated the waters above from below. This is the tent that gets dismantled from these prophecies on the day of the Lord, like I've been talking about. We have a building from God, an eternal house in heaven, not built by human hands. So now we understand that there is actual, architecture that has been accomplished by God Himself in the heavens above, a building from God, in correlation to the tent that we live in being dismantled. What does the tent do? It's 9 out of 10 times it's arched and it encircles you on every side. It encloses you. It gives you keep you from exposure from the outer elements. So he goes on to say that from this tent we groan, longing to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling. So in this tent where we live on the earth, we groan longing for the kingdom come, longing to be groaned with the heavenly dwelling. Because when we are clothed, we will not be found naked. So while we're in this tent, we groan under our burdens, but because we do not wish to be unclothed, but clothed. So now he's making the comparison of being unclothed is being without the heavenly building that God has built by Himself, without human hands. And when it comes, we will then be clothed in it, so that our mortality may be swallowed up by life. Another qualifier, the first resurrection, is you have to get this new resurrected body to exist inside the tabernacle of God, the house of God that Jesus went to go prepare for us, that comes down out of heaven, so you can live in and inherit it forever. You cannot inherit that as a mortal man. God has prepared for us this very time, this very purpose, and has given us the Spirit as a pledge of what is to come. This thing is also, we'll have to get into it in the discussion.
Yeah, thoughts?
Very good. Again.
Almost like poetry.
Same thing.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to critique it because we agree. But I do like the path he was taking with using prophecy, like when Jesus is coming.
Absolutely.
And the stars are falling, because this is a huge issue for the globe believers there.
Well, absolutely. Because if there's stars fall, only one lot will fall, the rest are, I don't know, it's all over the place. Like it says, 360 and all kind of all over the place. I mean, so there's no down in that. They're set above you so they can fall.
But I mean,
explain.
Think about the globe, guys. How big are the stars that they're claiming for the heliocentric model?
Well,
much bigger than
massive.
Earth. Yeah. Now, if it says in Revelations the stars are falling to Earth.
Jupiter and
get one star to fall to Earth.
Polaris.
One star. What? Buries that billions of times.
It just doesn't add up, does it?
No, and in their model, stars become supernova and explode. They don't fall. They and then they die off.
But then they say, "Nuh-uh, it's angels."
Nuh-uh. Oh, okay.
But also, according to their model, it's impossible for stars to fall because they have the greater mass. So Earth is supposed to be attracted to the stars. So in other words, it will be pulled towards it.
We're colliding with the stars. Yeah.
Really
It makes me think that Lucifer might be the great attractor, you know?
I wonder.
So yeah, it's a lot of idiotic rubbish, and I mean, also when they say Jesus will come down in the clouds and every eye will see him, it kind of takes away the point of a globe. I mean, if Jesus is Lucifer was coming there over Jerusalem, how do you expect someone in Australia to see him? Or someone in Antarctica? Well, what's going to happen? It's like
But they
looking
hadn't
through-
discovered Australia yet, so why would they put it in there?
It's crazy.
It is.
So, yeah, there's a lot wrong with it. Okay, but now we're going to get into the opposition side, Dr. Douglas Hamp and Scott Harwell. Now we'll actually have something to say.
Okay.
But it's good to see you guys. Hit the likes, share the show, let everybody know we are live.
Thank you. Thank you, Sean. I know those 5 minutes go by quick. And so that concludes our first two openings from Team IC.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're good to go, and I'll start your timer on your
Before we
first
start that,
word.
Does the Bible teach there is a dome over the earth? He puts no. While he's literally got Michael Heiser's biblical Hebrew cosmology depiction on.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a contradiction.
Well, the Heiser didn't believe in it himself, did he, though?
No, he didn't believe in it, but he understood this is what they believed. What was the narrative given to him by God to Moses?
I get
you. Okay, let's watch.
Okay, awesome. Well, so the big question, does the Bible teach that there's a dome over the earth? No, it does not. Now, someone who really championed this whole idea, who ironically did not believe in it himself, was Dr. Heiser. He used to work for Logos Bible software. And so he sort of had this whole idea. And he says that the Israelite cosmology is quite consistent with wider ancient Near Eastern cosmology, is easy to demonstrate. Now, God bless the guy. I know he's passed, but he was a friend of mine, but I would strongly disagree with him. And what did they actually believe? Okay, so from Enuma Elish, this is the Babylonian creation myth. All right, they say that Marduk took Tiamat and he cut her body in half, and he used half of it for the sky and the other half or her body. Well, clearly we don't believe that. I think that's nonsense. The Bible does not teach such a silly thing. From the Egyptian perspective, there was this god Atum who just happened to appear out of the abyss one day. So it was the water that gave birth to this god, and then he self-procreated, and he came up with these other gods. And so again, we don't believe in that either. The Bible says that in the beginning, God, right? So God was the one who did all these things in the beginning. So we completely reject these pagan ideas. And I would suggest that the Bible does not in any way reflect these pagan cosmologies. Now, this term rakia, it's incredibly important. Now, it's really sad. I mean, I don't have to say this nicely necessarily, but firmament is just a wrong, faulty translation. Okay, that's coming from kind of this
Okay, unfortunately, we're going to have to stop it.
It's because he hates that word. He has a flat. I hate that. It's not level. That's a wrong word, level.
Okay, yeah. We're going to have to first stop. The first issue he had was pushing other beliefs onto it and saying, but that's not what the Bible believes. No shit, Sherlock. You're busy debating biblical cosmology, not Mesopotamian cosmology. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's because their cosmologies are similar. Does that mean?
Yeah, Peter
knew what they were in.
Yeah, that's the Peter tactic right there.
Of course.
Exactly, but look what he's going to screen. Rakia expands.
Ooh, yeah, no, I see that.
But he says, then God said, let there be an expanse, Rakia, in the midst of waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters, Genesis 1. Thus God made the expanse. Why is he leaving the word solid out there? It's solid expanse. It's not expanse, it's solid expanse.
He just took a translation and then put the Hebrew word next to it and then said, no, yeah, that's exactly the right translation. It does mean expanse. It's not firmament. Sorry. So, dishonest. Pull it up right now and
Yeah, I'm
show
doing it.
everyone
What
how
it
this
says.
guy is lying. Dirty liar.
So remember,
Shame.
guys, that guy is a biblical scholar, historical biblical scholar, and he's wanting to actually be dishonest now. It's no other word for it. It's dishonesty because he's trying to change the definition of the word. Now, this is rakia, the one he had on screen. You saw that. It says there, extended surface, solid. It's a solid expanse, guys.
Yep.
Vault
Yeah.
of heaven, supporting waters. Hebrews as solid. Says so.
Vault
Considered
sounds
by
like sounds
Hebrews
solid
as
to me.
solid and supporting waters above.
Well,
So
most solid.
why is he saying it's a bad interpretation of the?
Because he doesn't like it.
Because he doesn't like the word. He doesn't like the word of it saying it's a solid.
Doesn't
rakia.
fit his
Maybe it's 'cause he's a
worldview.
liar.
Maybe he's claustrophobic. Maybe he doesn't want to have a container.
Devils don't like to be told they're never going to leave this place.
Yeah, they don't like it here, huh?
Yeah, it's the demons within.
It's the only place they're ever going to have, so they might as well get used to it.
The demons cry out. But not to hate the person, you got to hate that demon in them. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quite hectic. So we just had to show that, guys. He's literally leaving the solid expanse out on purpose. He wants to just keep it as expanse. And this is the same issue we had with Aiden Matters as well. It's exactly the same thing. They're leaving out the word solid because they want to make it just sound like it's just expanse. Because if they just say expanse, it's like, oh, it's spread out. Okay, what's spread out? What is spread out? Oh, when you look at it solid from rock up to beat out.
Yeah, all these guys are getting this from Faulkner, aren't they? I think I've heard say the same thing. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Jesuits, yeah.
Well, the answers he gives isn't in Genesis, that's for sure.
Okay, so let's carry on.
Latin word, but the word in Hebrew, rakia, has much more to do with expanse. Okay, it's something that's expanding. All right, so in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? He does all this stuff. Now we're going to see that expanse and shamayim, for the word for heavens, are parallel, right? These are two things that are in parallel with one another's. So you have this expanse, right? So this, it's kind of like you take some glass and you blow into it. It's the air inside there. That is the rakia.
So you're going to blow into a solid structure, correct? Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, but do you hear what he was saying? He was saying it's not the glass that's the rakia. He says it's the air that's inside it that's the rakia.
That's what made me laugh.
No.
So you blow into a solid thing to get a non-solid thing to explain your expanse. Ridiculous.
I'm sorry, there's no other word other than that's dishonest because he's trying to change the definition of a word.
Well, I'm pretty sure Sean's got him covered.
Oh yeah.
In the expanse.
Right. So flat earthers so often will focus on the hard dome, but that's not the whole point. You're missing the point. It's more like the air bubble or the bubble in a glass. That is the rakia. That's really what we're talking about. And it's stretching it out like a tent. Okay, so according to the Theological Word Book of the Old Testament, the basic concept of rakah is stamping as with the foot, and what results...
Nope, rakah is not stamping out as a foot.
And I'm not sure if you guys deceive me, but I don't think a bubble is similar to a tent in the way that it's veiled over.
Say again?
No, it's just because he tried to equivocate it to a bubble and then equivocated to a tent. A tent would be more like a dome instead of a hollow circle, like a bubble.
Yeah. But anyway, this is rakah, guys, which he's saying is just to stand on. Stamp, okay? There we go, spread out, okay? Beat out, beat, stamp, beaten out, to overlay, beat out. Literally to beat. So there we go. The primitive root, to pound the earth as a sign of passion. But now it's expand
To
by
beat
hammering.
or not to beat?
By hammering. Do you need something physical to hammer?
Usually.
Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
It also requires hardness.
Yeah, verb is to beat, to stamp, beat out, spread out. So there we go.
Do you use verbs to describe nouns, right?
Verbs is a doing word.
That was a doing word.
Yeah, doing. Yeah, sorry.
You mean adjective? You mean?
Yeah.
Adjective, yeah. Well, anyway, the thing is, he's trying to change what's happening. He's trying to change the definitions of words. He's doing what the globe does.
For level.
60% truth, 40% lie. So he's showing half correct. It's spreading out. Great. But he's leaving out, it's the solid spread out. It's something that's solid beaten out. That's the spread. You understand? So it's half truths. He's just showing half of the truth.
Very dishonest. Yep.
Yeah.
Is a spreading out or stretching forth. All right, God spreading forth the tangible earth. Right. So the idea of a tent, sure, but don't focus on the canvas. Focus on the empty space inside the tent. That's the whole.
Focus on the empty.
It's the expansion of that.
No,
Right, we see this
look
in
how
Isaiah
the
1.
tent is supported, like the dome would be supported. Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. He's literally showing on
stands created, and then there's a support over top. It's so easy to see.
Literally telling you to
But you see how ridiculous his argument is, though. He first shows glass shell being blown up, physical hard shell, and he says that's not what it is. It's the air inside. Then he shows a physical tent and says that's not what it is. It's
the air inside.
I don't know what his obsession is with the expanse. I think he's going with like it's expanding, like the universe kind of thing.
No, I think he's trying to equivocate to the atmosphere. I think that's where he's going to go.
Exactly that. That's why he's using
Maybe he'll
Shemahim.
bring up the crust.
But that's exactly why he's bringing up Shemahim, because Shemahim is another word for heaven. Remember, God is very explicit when it's interchangeable with firmament in context.
Yeah.
So when it's a Shemahim, you get different heavens. There's more than one heaven, but they're interchangeable.
3 of them.
So when you talk about, for instance, I mean, that's what I was trying to explain to that other idiot the last time when he came on. The birds flying in the Shemahim heaven, firmament, is they're flying inside. They're not flying in the physical structure. They're inside, like you would have. Let's say this is the firmament. The birds are flying inside here.
And then the actual firmament would be the second heaven.
And this is the firmament.
Yeah.
So this
You got to remember.
This is the Rakia, and inside is Shemaim. Get it?
You got to remember. He don't make claims. Actually, didn't make any claims.
Oh, and I don't back it up either.
I know.
Just let go of it, and just make your mind empty, and then read the Bible, and
You become an airhead.
No,
I mean that's what it is, right? He has an expanse in his head.
You have to become a scout to understand.
44. I am the Lord who stretches note out the heavens, the Shemaim, right? All alone, who spreads roka, same word there, abroad the earth by myself. So that is the idea. It's the spreading is the concept. It's not the dome that flat earthers keep focusing on. Now, this is from Gesenius, who was a veritable genius when it came to Hebrew. I really think that we have to take into consideration the people that have gone before us, the scholars. And you can see here the word rakah. It means to beat, to strike the earth with the feet as in indignation.
To beat. So well done.
Notice how he skipped over that. Let's keep moving.
But you see, it's like he's trying to read through it very quickly.
To beat, strike the other with indignation.
Look at it, to beat, spread out, beating as thin plate. Hence to overlay with a thin plate. Notice that everything he's showing on screen shows physicality to it.
Spread out with the hammer. With the hammer, spread out. Yeah.
You can't beat out that air inside the tent.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. I'm beating out the air, guys. Come on.
Means solid expanse, Warhammer.
Thank you very much for your membership gift for Jack. Really appreciate it, man. You are awesome. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all my members, all my Patreons, all my PayPal supporters, everybody that supports the channel. You guys rock. So welcome, John McClure. You received a King Rooster. And Warhammer, Rakia does not mean solid. It means expanse. Dude, we literally had it on screen a few minutes ago.
Solid.
Yeah. I want to see him have air without containment. That's what I'm waiting to see.
So it's very simple, Warhammer. Rakia is to beat out, comes from Raka, which means to beat out solid. The word Rakia is spread out solid expanse, extended surface. Yeah.
With the hammer.
Yeah, with the hammer. With the hammer.
It's on,
Or
Which
hammer.
is ironic. His name's Warhammer.
it's literally on screen right now. To spread out by beating.
Yep.
Has a thin plate. Nope, not
Like
solid.
I said,
Plate's
just beat
not
it.
solid. Nope, it's a veil.
Just beat it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you beat out veils, right?
Spread out, right? Spread out, spread out, spread out, spread out. That is really what we're talking about. Okay, so the Mosaic account of creation uses rakia interchangeably for the open expanse of the heavens. This is according to the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia. All right, so I just want to show you guys that it's not this idea of a dome. That is something that did not start until the 1900s. It's completely wrong. Even Webster's notice firmament in Scripture, the word
it started from the 1900s.
Actually,
that
all
is
art
totally
came out in the 1900s.
That is totally false, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I was saying he was talking about let's mention the people that came before us. What are all the scholars? You brought them up, right? Even in your biblical
Peter
cosmology.
Enns. But there's so many scholars would all tell him he's wrong. There's so much historical documentation which just told him he's wrong. He says start in the 1900s.
That's why I'm saying is they came before the 1900s.
You know when this started, the firmament. You guys know exactly when. When
The day God made it.
Yeah, when God, I was gonna say when God spoke to Moses.
I was going to say the 1611 KJV, but I mean, that's another. I mean, my God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no.
crazy.
That was accepted upon.
Expanse, a wide extent, for such is the signification of the Hebrew word, coinciding with regio, region, and reach. The original, therefore, does not convey the sense of solidity, but of stretching, extension. The great arch of expanse over our heads in which we are placed, the atmosphere and clouds, and in which.
So why would they call it a firm
and
image if it wasn't firm, dude?
Why would they call it an arch?
Yeah.
Because it's not firm, guys.
Is it because of affirmation, maybe, instead of I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Because it doesn't agree with his heliocentric belief.
Does intellect come in? Does intellect actually come into this argument, or are we just going to go with the?
No,
We're just gonna go with his terrible interpretation and have to listen to this the entire time.
Yeah. In other words, he's gone to the school of make shit up.
My favorite school.
Or believe what you want, or yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
Pope of Will Duffy's church.
But read this. The original, therefore, does not convey the sense of solidity, but of stretching extension, which we just debunked. The great arch of expanse over our heads. How do you have an arch of nothing?
Exactly.
In which are
They
placed
have an
the
arch if it's a
atmosphere.
circle.
They're
But look,
placed. Yeah.
Which is placed the atmosphere and the clouds. Is that scriptural? Is there anywhere in it saying anything about clouds and atmosphere?
Notice the in which the stars appear to be placed.
The only thing I remember. The The only thing I remember being placed is the sun and the moon. So
Yeah, and they're the cause for like clouds, and if we didn't have a sun, we wouldn't have clouds.
And the stars also.
Yeah.
And appear means an observation that is not a physical. So.
No, and the Bible's very specific when it said, and God placed them in the firmament.
he wouldn't leave out if he wouldn't leave out that he put in the clouds in the atmosphere, which being under an arc wouldn't really be a sphere. It would be an atmos dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, hemisphere.
Hemisphere.
I mean, I would be biting my tongue if I was one of the other panel members. I was like,
Well,
See.
if you see
Okay, so that's what we're talking-
Sean's face, it's pretty telling too.
yeah, well, he did. As you can see, he just got his logo on because he's
Yeah,
probably
because he couldn't take it.
sitting there like,
Biting his tongue. Yeah.
Just veins popping out of his forehead. Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
I can't stand it when people are so obtusely dishonest. You know what I mean? And it's sad because the guy's a Christian. He's a scholar. Why can't he just be honest and say, okay, this is what the words say? Oh, wait, he can't because that's not his argument.
Doesn't fit his worldview either.
It's sad.
You know, his wife will probably leave him, and he'll lose his tenure.
Later on, he even says Michael Heiser is wrong.
Well, he's a biblical scholar, but is he a Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just.
They believe in creation and everything as well, but he just believes in the globe.
Wow, how deep? This guy's coping hard.
Yeah.
Talking about. And, it's this idea of the expansion, all right? The expansion. So to suggest that it's a fixed dome, that's fantasy, guys. That's something that we do not find in Scripture. It's not what the Bible's teaching.
Okay, I've got to also correct him on something because he's trying to push it. But he's trying to push it as space is expanding. That's why he doesn't want to solve it.
I was wondering if you were thinking about the atmosphere, but no.
I think I was right when I hit it.
But what does the Bible say about he spread out the north like a tent over the north? Okay? That means it's put bounds. God placed bounds. Oh, Roger, thanks for coming, man.
That's no problem, man. I gotta work. I'll be listening.
A tent isn't ever expanding.
No problem.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, but that's the thing. He's already expanded it.
Yeah.
When God created the firmament, he expanded it already.
Well,
he stretched it out as a tent.
There's still breath going forward. And with the breath, you would have to have a voice probably to go along with the breath to be able to mention what.
Yeah, I mean, he's claiming that it's ever expanding. That's unbiblical.
Yeah.
It's already expanded. God already stretched it out over the north. Like
where's it going though?
No, yeah. Don't you remember when at the end of John it says, "And the firmament is still expanding." So where's this guy? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I keep on making jokes because this guy has nowhere to go to. His arguments are null, and it's just very dishonest. I feel sorry for his soul.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
0 to hero.
Clear as crystal.
And I think that it should be absolutely rejected because that's not what Scripture is telling us. Okay, so with that, I'll stop.
Thank you.
There we go. Thank you very much, Dr. Douglas Hamp. That was 5 minutes on the dot.
Okay, now we move on to
you're
Scott.
ready.
Saying,
This guy, you think that was bad? Scott.
Ooh,
Yeah. He's like Joe Belushi. What's that guy's name?
He's like a mixture of Kent Hovind and MTV.
Yeah, he's this guy.
He got really triggered with Sean. It's like every time Sean spoke, he just saw red. Like he had some kind of fixation of trying to character assassinate Sean. The whole time. That was his argument the whole time, was trying to character assassinate.
So let's see what Scott's got.
This is bad. This is when it gets real bad. And then the other thing is that he keeps leaning upon the doctor as like his witsit or something, you know?
All those books are,
Here
by the way,
as my ace card, so I'm just gonna go back to him.
that looks like the Harvard set of books you get, and those barely even look like they're used. No, but I feel like those books are fake.
No, they're probably real.
Well, they're real, but like there's
looks like a
usually
digit.
like even like Matt Dillahunty, I'm pretty sure had one of these, where it's just like a bunch of like art, like fresh.
But a lot of people these days, they make sure they got a bookshelf with books to say, "Ooh, I read. You see, I'm very smart."
That's the point.
And then you go ask them, "Okay, show me the books that you got in the background. Have you actually read them?"
That bookshelf is too organized for him to be.
That's what I was saying. He bought a set of books.
Set. That is.
And put them in encyclopedias, probably.
You found them at McKay's bookstores. That's where I go a lot of times. But you
When I
find
read
like
books,
you're like, oh, I can buy that.
yeah,
The reason I brought that up is because if he is going to be like this, I feel like that might also be not like a character, but like an ego thing, as in he wants to be a more scholarly because he's with a Bible scholar and he can't just be some peon.
Well, he does actually concede now. That's the whole reason he's doing this is because he's with a biblical scholar on his side.
Notice that there's
And you're going to hear him saying, "Oh,
candlestick
I
there.
trust him because he's biblical." But unlike my counterparts, the people I'm debating here, they aren't biblical scholars. So don't trust them. This is what he's going to be opening with. Just
Now
listen.
I'm going to be listening for the dumb comment, by the way. So
Let's see how
everyone,
many-
when you hear him say dumb,
Oh
just-
yeah, the
just
dumb comment. I
No.
remember that. Yeah.
note.
Dumb.
Keep note. Okay. When he says dumb, keep note. Let's pause it there so
Yeah.
everyone can see that you did
James,
say
and
it.
God said,
Why does he have a
20 of
7
Genesis 1.
candlestick thing in the background?
The
What's
menorah.
that called again? Menorah.
The menorah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. Birds fly. If I
What's
turn my
rubbing
computer
your
around
chin,
right now and then looked out the window, I actually do see a bird. It is flying in this open expanse of the heavens. The heavens are not just this NASA model or what we look up and when we see the sun, the moon, and the stars. The heavens are right here with us. It's where birds fly and rest in trees. It is literally everything above the surface of the earth would be called the heavens. And Dr. Hamp, and it may be in the question and answer part of this, that is one reason why I would not do this type of debate or discussion unless I had someone like Dr. Hamp, who, unlike the people that we're debating, he actually is a Hebrew.
So he's admitting that if he didn't have somebody to back him up for all the stuff he doesn't.
What's poisoning the well fallacy, guys?
Exactly. This.
Yeah, let's see how many fallacies we can name and like. Oh, jeez.
But you understand, he opened this with.
Down upon people like that is terrible. Why would you start your debate talking down upon people? That's
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
But not just that, what he just opened with trying to say about heaven is already based on fallacious reasoning. It's based on ignorance. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Then he goes on to saying, let's appeal to authority because I got this Hebrew scholar that's on my side. And then poisoning the one and say, well, these other two guys are just idiots because they're not Hebrew scholars.
and I wouldn't be here without him because I can't stand on my own 2 feet.
I need my dad here to protect me in case I don't know anything.
My daddy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, it gets bad with this guy, guys. This is just the start.
Oh boy.
That's why I said this guy's like a mixture between Kent Hovind and FTFE.
Understands these things. And when we're looking at some of the scriptures, for one, I don't believe I could prove in a court of law beyond a reasonable doubt that scripture even teaches any type of shape of earth. Now, Ken in his opening mentioned heliocentric. Doug and I haven't even advocated for any type of model right now, whether it's geocentric, heliocentric, etc. I tend to believe geocentric or heliocentric works better.
What?
But if we
Did you just hear contradict himself?
Heliocentric, geocentric, etc.
No, wait,
I
wait.
don't know what to believe. That's what he basically just said. I don't even know what to believe. I can believe in anything I want, and that's perfectly fine.
But don't you see how he contradicted himself, though?
Absolutely.
We're not pushing heliocentrism or geocentrism, but I'm telling you, it works better.
Yeah.
Then you're pushing it.
If you have no say in the discussion, then don't come on the debate. Let the Bible scholar 2v1.
Yeah, but you understand that he just said we're not saying if it's heliocentric or geocentric, okay? But they do explain it better. Then that's what you're pushing.
Yeah, a bias to that's.
So yeah, it's this guy. Not even in the same ballpark. This guy. He's how can I put it? He is way outclassed. This guy.
I really wish he wasn't there, and it was just the other guy itself, because he at least debated, and it seemed like decent, good faith.
Yeah, this Scott guy from the beginning till the end, he wasn't in good faith there.
No.
At all. And he was totally outclassed with anything brought up. He didn't even understand all the things they spoke about.
Definitely came with a bias.
And then he admitted it by saying that he needed his chum.
Okay.
We start what I want to do in this brief period of time is look at this more from a typological standpoint, and then Isaiah 40:22, it says, "It is he who sits upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretches out the heavens as a curtain and spreads them out as a tent to dwell in."
Circle, dummy.
And if we start looking at the actual Hebrew word, there is kug. It's Strong's H2 2329. The root word of that word that is defined in almost every translation as circle means to circuit, to compass. And that also is pronounced as kagog, to move in a circle, to encircle, encompass, to draw around, make a circle, march in a sacred procession, to observe a festival, to dance, to reel to and fro, to gyrate.
Circle, not sphere.
And if we even study this further, I believe we're seeing something from a topological standpoint that's pointing us back to something I mentioned in the introduction, the Moedim, the 7 feasts that are cyclical in nature, that are actually determined based on the
one thing
and the 7th month. And so
the Moedim come once a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are circled, and they are also pronounced by the heavens themselves, or by the firmament, by the constellations.
Circuit.
So it's a circuit. Yeah, exactly. So we're going around and around by time in a circle, but what does that have to do with? Oh my God, I don't know.
But do you understand
how does that transcend into 3 dimensions? That's what I'm asking. Like, it says circle. It doesn't say sphere. It doesn't say ball. It doesn't say any other thing. Nothing. No hints to that at all. It's just literally circle.
Once the circuit is complete, then we're on to the next year. That's all it is.
But what he's busy reading,
you could call it a race as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, but what he's busy reading out now is for the flat Earth, encircling, encompassing, circle, not sphere.
Yeah. The word for ball is dir. It's H1754. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, it means ball. People. So.
And the thing is, they used the word before circle, so the author already knew what the word ball was.
Ball.
Why didn't they just use the word ball then instead of circle? If he was meaning ball.
Yeah, Isaiah.
Because a circuit or a race or a circle is different. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Isaiah 22:18.
Yeah. So the last time I went driving my car and I went racing on the circuit, I was driving in a ball, right? What the hell?
That's crazy.
Well, the track is curved, so maybe you were.
Yeah. The NASA. I'm driving NASA, man. I'm driving on a ball. Come on, let's go on the circuit. Man.
That's what they should have done on the moon. They should have drove their little...
Hold a feast, festival, make a pilgrimage, celebrate, dance. And in Leviticus 23, we are commanded to observe 7 feasts annually. And this annual cycle is called a tekufah. That is Strong's 8622, a circuit, a coming around, a circuit of time.
That's why he's got his menorah in the background, guys, because it's the 7 feasts. He's observing the seventh feast based on the menorah.
So you can just tell he's a demon.
I know because I used to do the same thing.
What, he's like Hebrew roots?
Yeah, he's
Kinda
probably a
guy?
bit Hebrew roots. Roger Ledwell, thank you for your $2 super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Says, why is this guy even here? He's the one that set it up, Roger.
He's the opinionated guy that doesn't know anything, but he agrees with somebody, and so that's.
Yeah, because he seems to be butthurt that Sean keeps showing him that he's wrong. So he wants, I'm going to show you. Let's have a debate. And I'm going to get myself a Hebrew scholar, and we're going to teach you.
Bring in my ace card, and it's the ace in the hole. You're done. You're done.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Roger, for your super chat. Really appreciate it, man. You rock. But yeah, this guy, he's not in the same. I don't know. Yeah, I think it would have been a better debate without this guy. Let's put it that way.
Definitely. A space, a turning, a circuit. Consequently, I believe you can make a very strong case that this means a revolution around the sun. So therefore, the Hebrew translation for the English circle is not describing a flat disk, nor a two-dimensional circle that we draw on paper. Otherwise,
we literally just read it out.
The disc. Here we go with the disc.
But he just literally read it out. But do you understand? He just literally read it out as encompassing, as a compass to take a circuit, as a circle.
But he's also straw manning the whole thing by invoking the disc, because he's trying to bring up this whole thing that the Flat Earth Society and all this.
That's exactly that.
Nonsense. That's a straw man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to poison the well by saying, "You guys believe this." No,
you believe in a flying disc in space, literally where that's not what's being pushed.
It's a pizza in space, and you guys are just flying in space. Oh my Lord, you people!
It's crazy.
Notice how they don't allow any one-on-one, like you asking somebody specifically to show your evidence.
It's coming, man. It's coming. That's what I said. It's gonna get bad. This is their openings.
Yeah, these are just openings.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were already past that part.
Let's let him finish, and I'll be quiet too. And let's let him finish.
No worries. I'm sorry. I thought we were in that part. I apologize.
No, I'm just realizing we're moving slow.
Yeah, let's just let him finish here.
Little model called Flatland, in which the two-dimensional person cannot see beyond his two-dimensional sphere. He can't see into the third dimension, much like Elisha's servant could not see into the supernatural realm until.
Okay, I gotta stop there. We are three-dimensional beings, mate. We see in 3 dimensions.
Yeah. He's talking about the 4th and 5th dimensions of Einsteinian gravitonian nonsense. It's crazy. But he doesn't even know what he's invoking. This is Einstein, the 4th dimension. But he's saying you can't see in the 3rd dimension. You can touch and feel things.
We are three-dimensional beings, for Pete's sake. We live in 3 dimensions.
Like touching things. This thing is. Oh, here.
My phone is 3-dimensional, guys. It's got a length, breadth, and width.
Look at this. 3 dimensions.
Yeah,
it's not 2 dimensions. Wow.
Crazy stuff, man.
Idiot.
This argument, and someone's actually brought this up to me. So you think we live in a 2-dimensional world? And I'm like, well, this 3-dimensional things still exist. What do you mean? You're acting as if you're 2D now.
Yeah, it's insane.
Elisha prayed, and his eyes were open, and he was able to see into this heavenly realm. So again, I don't take a strong position on this. I'm going to use the rest of my time to address some of the comments. We do not.
Now, rest of his time is attacking the comments, guys. This is his opening. Just to let you guys know, this is his opening, and look what he's going to do now.
The chat, like the live chat.
Yeah, the chat. He's attacking.
He said he does not take a strong stance, but he's going to go after comments, which is taking a strong
stance.
Like, you know what? I love when people announce exactly what they're going to do and say they're not going to do it.
I think this guy would have been all right if he said, "I don't have a strong opinion. I'm just going to let the Bible scholar, talk, and I'm not very well versed in it." At least if he was honest. But
I'm not saying I'm stupid, but I'm stupid.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm stupid, but I'm not stupid. So.
But watch this, guys. But listen to what's going to be said now.
Not need to be dividing over this. those of you that believe in a flat Earth, I have friends that believe in this flat Earth dumb cosmology, and we do not
There we go.
divide. But
I have
what
no
they don't-
part in the debate. I'm
There
sorry,
we go.
guys.
That's what he was saying,
Dumb
Bucket.
cosmology. This
But he has no
flat
part.
dumb cosmology.
Sorry,
He's going to
guys.
deny this later. Take
Yeah,
note.
this is
Flat
what we're
Earth
saying.
Cosmology.
But you know
Okay.
why me and Bucket's saying this? Because later on he denies this, and therefore he's lying.
Yeah.
This flat Earth dumb cosmology. He calls it dumb.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Everyone,
Thank you,
yeah,
Bucket.
Everybody. Everyone that's watched this debate. Thank you.
don't do is they don't try to criticize someone like Dr. Hamp who has studied this, or someone like me.
I'm criticizing Dr. Hamp now, and I just said he's wrong.
Like him? Why would we ask him?
He's the untouchable. He's untouchable because he has so much knowledge.
He's a scholar.
He's a scholar. You can't touch
Hey,
him. Nah.
I'm sorry, but I don't give a damn if a person's a scholar or not. If the guy's wrong, he's wrong.
Appeal
I will never
to-
call
with
appeal to scholars, and this is like a friend being like, my friend, you know, he's a better than it's like, yeah, this is where it's like having a friend that boxes, and he's like, yeah, he's way better than Floyd Mayweather. This is like, he doesn't even know who he is. He's probably not well versed with his work. So just to give him the kudos without actually knowing, you know, it's just biased. Like I said, he came to us biased. First thing I heard out of his mouth, I knew it was. He obviously has a position and a bunch of fallacies.
I noticed this is still just the openings.
I know. This is so bad.
And accuse us of being NASA shills. That's one reason I wanted to have this discussion. Dr. Hamp has had people leave his congregation simply over a stupid shape, and he's been accused of being a shill. He has had people leave his congregation because he doesn't say Yahuwah Hua, or because he doesn't they don't believe that he keeps the correct calendar. We need to be focused on the truth. The truth is Yeshua. And again, if Sean and Ken and my personal friends wish to believe in this type of cosmology in which there is a flat earth surrounded by a hard bubble shell firm dome, that's fine. But I guess my point
If it's fine, then why are you wanting to debate about it and tell him he's dumb?
And why are you calling it dumb? Exactly. So why are you calling it dumb?
So that's crazy.
I didn't really mean that. I meant something different, and I'm going to poison well and then change my mind.
Well, wouldn't a logical person, wouldn't they bring evidence right directly against what the person just said, rather than saying all that stuff? Rather than propping themselves up, propping up their friends, propping up all the people who supposedly don't believe it, then calling you names, telling you you're not very smart, whatever, blah, 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 or you're not knowledgeable enough. Why wouldn't you just attack that direct argument? Like, it's we're saying it's flat. Even though there's mountains and hills, it's a three-dimensional plane, and it doesn't spin, right? All he has to do is show evidence against that, and everything that we said means nothing, right? He's got it. So why doesn't he bring any evidence? I don't understand why they call this a debate when he's not debating anything. He's just arguing against you personally.
He's actually a hype man. I'm starting to realize he's just going to filibuster the whole time, and I really am not looking forward to hearing this guy.
Yeah, but like I said in the beginning, remember I told you in the beginning he's like a mixture between Kent Hovind and FTFE. Now you see why?
He doesn't even have as much knowledge as FTFE. At least FTFE can at least bring something.
No, but I'm talking about his whole demeanor and how he acts.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially the smugness.
Oh, yeah.
The reason for wanting to do this is don't use scripture out of context and then accuse and straw man and tell others that they're NASA shills. And I'm not basing this on what either Sean or Ken said. I'm looking at the comments, and it's sickening.
You just hit a home run.
Poisoning the well.
I would just pray for those people that they're that bent out of shape about a shape. That's it.
Projection.
Thank you very much, Scott Harwell, for that 5-minute opening statement. Gentlemen, that concludes our opening statements for both teams. So everybody got 5 minutes.
Now it gets really. Watch this Dr. Douglas Hemp guy's face when Sean tells him all the definitions you brought up were wrong. How dare you tell me I'm
Wait,
wrong?
hold on. I didn't know. How is this debate structured? Are they going to have an open discussion?
2 minute. Well, it's supposed to be they give a question, then it's 2 minute rebuttal kind of thing.
Oh,
But
yeah, no, I like that more.
it swaps and changes the whole time. They didn't really keep to it that great, like I would say, but
okay.
it kept it at least structural. Okay.
Minutes to lay out their positions, make some arguments and points. And so we got plenty of points and arguments on the table to now engage and interact with in a 60-minute formal discussion. And so team 2, Dr. Douglas Hamp and Scott Harwell, just ended with their opening statements. First 2 minutes of this discussion. So gentlemen, let's begin now. We got 60 minutes. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Dr. Hamp and Scott, for your openers. Appreciate it. I guess I can start with Dr. Hamp. One of the things that you mentioned in your opener was Dr. Heiser, and you pulled up kind of his background and his point of view on how he believed the Hebrews understood what the scriptures were teaching regarding biblical cosmology. Now, the interesting thing about Dr. Heiser is that, again, he says that this is literally what they believed, but then he reverts to this doctrine called the doctrine of accommodation, where he thinks that, well, they believed that and God just told them this information because their pea brains wouldn't be able to handle essentially the information that we now know and have access to through our modern technology and, you know, agencies like NASA and all that stuff. So he was just politely, you know, through their ignorance, kind of giving them an idea, but he wasn't really caring about informing them as to what it truly was that he had created. And I don't believe that personally. I think that gives God a pretty bad rep, in my opinion.
I agree, because that makes God a liar, and God has said God cannot lie.
Right.
Yeah, you said before it's either Moses lied or God lied. And this idea that Moses is lying is probably the more popular one, which is sad to see among Christians. But,
yeah, I mean, it's very simple. I mean, otherwise, they had to be very illiterate or liars if it doesn't fit their narrative. It's like insane.
And this is, I know this idea that they were just, it was through their lens of what they could see. Yeah, I that's definitely what Heiser thought. So. And that's why I was really confused when you were debating with Peter, and he said he didn't care about it.
Same thing. Yeah.
So he obviously doesn't believe in it, which, I mean, that's fair. He's an atheist, right? He's not a Christian. But
who's not a Christian?
Michael Heiser a Christian?
He's a Christian, yeah.
Oh, really?
He's a God-believing Christian.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so either way,
but he understood that. That's what the Hebrews literally believed.
Yeah, that's the point.
His argument was that they weren't. God just gave them that simplified version because they wouldn't understand.
So
what it'd be if you had to explain it to them.
We wouldn't have got it.
I don't know why. I think I was mixing them up with Bart Ehrman. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, Bart Ehrman's
as if God would have trouble making you understand what he wanted you to, right?
He's the atheist Bible scholar. It's just, I don't know. I usually don't see many, at least modern Bible scholars that are Christian.
Yeah,
that's why I was assuming it. But
yeah. What do you think about Titus 1:2, where Paul asserts that God cannot lie, and the other scriptures that talk about Yahweh's word being true? Can you elaborate on that and how it coincides with the descriptions that he gave Moses on Mount Sinai?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll reset the 2-minute timer.
Well, of course, God is always going to be right. Oh.
Okay. No, that's
was
okay.
easy.
Dr. Hamp, yes, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, of course, I believe what God said is true. It's our interpretation of what God said. That's what we're debating, not whether God said things that are true. Absolutely, and I think we all would argue that God said things that are true. I think Dr. Heiser, God bless.
See, there he's actually hand waved is missing it.
Yep, we would all agree that there's a God that we believe that is true. That is what I hear.
Yeah. But I mean, he's Ken's argument is God spoke directly to Moses, and he told him, "This is how I created the earth. This is the cosmology." And Doug is saying, "Oh, but so did God lie? He can't lie." And Doug is saying, "Oh yeah, but no one will say God's lying," and then not actually answering his question.
It's always, of course, I believe that God is true. I mean, how could I not say that? I'm a Christian.
Yep.
Quotes, unquote.
Well, because men wrote the Bible, they must have made a mistake.
Listen, I think he was dead wrong on on what the ancients believed, and I think I showed that with the Babylonian cosmology. This whole idea that Marduk, sliced in half Tiamat and used half of her body for the skies and the other half for the land.
He loves bringing this up as well.
That's not what.
What does that got to do with biblical cosmology?
Yeah, Hindus also have somewhat of a trinity. Does that mean the Trinity came from
Hinduism?
like we've seen.
Hey man, be careful what you say. They'll be saying that next. They use everything we say against.
It's all from Middle Eastern paganism. No.
Yeah, but you see, Michael Heiser's argument was that it's similar because they all had the similar belief of cosmology. But it's still, if you're talking about biblical cosmology, it's got nothing to do with the other Eastern cosmologies. You can see it as validation that they also knew the earth was flat. But that doesn't mean the Bible is false, because Marduk was cut in half and half was created for the dome and half was created for the earth. In their belief system, it's not biblical.
Yeah, so his point would be that no, it's actually not a flat enclosed dome like other, like Egyptians or whatever he said. It's just wrong. It's just a wrong interpretation that came from, like you said, the 19th century. So he's gonna have to back this up, which I know he won't, because he can't.
He won't.
Yeah, I don't believe that. So I think he made a grave error. I really do. I think he made a big error, and I'm not going to defend the guy. I think he screwed up, basically.
Screwed up.
Now when it comes to the Bible, there's a lot of ways that we can read different things. I think you guys are taking things massively out of context. Scott and I are a little bit,
guys,
miffed a little bit to suggest that you guys have the biblical cosmology and we don't. No, we would argue that we actually have a biblical cosmology. We just don't think that the playground is so small. You think that it's really tiny, small. We think it's super crazy huge, right? And there are models that will account for water being outside of the known universe, all right? And can we prove that? No. But it's a model, right? And I heard a really great scientist who believes that the Earth is round. He suggested that outside of this expanse, there could be some kind of a water barrier. Now, what's outside of that? Well, presumably God, as far as we can tell.
He's just making a
question. Scientist, when he says we're not invoking it later. So I just want to point that out. Sorry.
Yeah, but he's also begging a question. He's just doing circular reasoning.
Yeah.
The guy's contradicting himself every time he talks.
We can invoke what we want to invoke, but if you want to invoke something, we didn't agree to that. Watch. You're going to notice this.
Also, the explanation, I would imagine, the explanation for water being in the universe, like how they explain water got here by meteors, would probably be different than what the Bible claims. So you can't just take a non-biblical idea and slap the Bible on it and then say, oh, no, yeah, that's how it works, because appeal to science. Appeal to modern science, I would say, because, not all sciences. Yeah.
So thank you, Roger Ledger, for your $2 super chat. It says, sounds like Peter Cottontail. It does sound very Peter-like. I do agree. Thank you for the super chat, man. You rock. Really appreciate all the support. Oh, man.
But there are some questions we're not going to be able to answer. So now, is this my chance? Am I just supposed to answer what he's asked me, or am I not
I
free
think
to ask.
because actually that's 2 minutes on the dot. Dr. Hamp,
Okay,
you just hit
yeah.
2 minutes. So let's throw it
Cool.
back to team one and see if they had
Okay.
anything to follow up
Cool.
with. Go ahead,
Okay.
team one.
Yeah, I'll just try to address some of the
Okay, watch these two guys' faces now when Sean talks. Scott's already getting all aggravated just because Sean's talking, okay? But look at Hamp's face when he's telling him he's wrong with his. Just watch this.
things that Dr. Hamp brought up as well in his opening statement. Stuff that I'm just surprised to hear because it's just not true. In the Hebrew, the word rakia, by definition, Brown Driver's Brig, Strong's, NAS Exhaustive,
See there, look at it.
Concordance, they all say it's an extended surface.
He's already wiping his mouth. He's
Biting
already,
his lip already.
He's starting to twitch.
He's already biting his lip. He's like,
Yeah, no, I saw it. You can see the
Isn't there
change.
something about that in Proverbs?
You can see the change from like listening to confused to just like
that's called conviction, guys, because he knows he's wrong.
And he's speaking against the spirit. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
He knows he's wrong.
Eternal sin.
But
Yeah.
I mean, what does he expect? He's going against people that actually know the subject. When you go against someone who actually knows the subject, they're going to call you out for your bullshit. Does he think he's going to get away with it?
Yes, obviously.
It's crazy.
That's what it means by expanse, extended surface. So I'm really confused here as to how he's trying to say it just means the air that's being spread out. And I think you have to correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Hamp, but one of your slides you brought up, it's almost as if you were trying to make a case that the land itself was the expanse that was being stretched out.
Joe Duffy.
But that's one of the words that's being used. Yes.
Will Duffy.
He says.
Well, one
he
second. I'm
stretched out-
responding
Will
now. It's
Duffy.
my 2
He's
minutes.
crushed.
Yeah, and Sean, you just hit 50 seconds. So
Okay.
go
So
ahead.
again, the word in the Hebrew is translated in multiple passages. This is from the scholarly concordances and lexicons. It's called the vault of heaven, the firmament, and it's not something from the 1900s. We have documents from the 6th century, from the 1st century, early church fathers, from the prophets and apostles themselves, in context of how they're describing it in the eschatology of the day of the Lord. Like I put verses on
laughing
screen,
and then eye
of
roll.
an actual solid expanse that's rolled back, something that's supporting the waters above. This is not, there is no other definition for something that supports waters above, the same waters that flooded in Genesis 7:11 through the sluice that Ken talked about, than an actual solid expanse. So this is what it's consistent scholastically, it's consistent from the church fathers, from the apostles and Christ, as well as it's not ever talked about. The word rakia is never used for the earth. That's haretz.
Correct, yeah.
You know this. In Isaiah 55:9, for as high as the heavens are above the earth. Psalm 103:11, for as high as the heavens are above the earth.
Scott's
Heaven
on
and
his
earth is a
phone.
different thing with different Hebrew words. That's my time. Thanks.
Sorry?
Douglas' face right there, he just did that. Oh, he got me. And now,
I said Scott's on his phone. You can see he's just not even listening. He's just like,
Yeah.
he raised his hand at one point. It was like in defeat.
Yeah, he's like-
you know.
was like-
Yeah.
I think I saw Hamp like lipping saying something with his
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, he was almost having like a little, this guy.
Yeah. Like you tell me, man. I'm the Bible scholar.
Yeah, that's his attitude towards it.
Yeah.
It's like,
What do
who are
you
you
know?
to tell me that I'm wrong, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, fair enough. I don't know how long he's been a Bible scholar, but I would probably be pretty mad too if I spent years and some guy came and said, "You got this fundamental word in Genesis wrong. This
Yeah,
word that really
but
adds something."
That's the difference, though. If you're a scholar, you're supposed to take criticism well and say, "Okay, let's see how I'm wrong." Understand? But he knows he's wrong. That's the issue, because he knows he's changing the definitions. He's probably had this argument presented to him many times.
No, yeah, I mean, it could totally just be, cognitive dissonance, just, getting rid of what he wants and, presenting what he believes.
Yep.
Thank you, Sean. That's 2 minutes. Dr. Hamp, let's throw it back to you. I'll reset the timer, and you guys got 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So look, the word rakia means expanse, and it's parallel with the word shemaim, which is heavens. If you take the verb, which means to expand, then it is used of the earth. Okay, and that's used in Isaiah. So again, that's part of understanding the difference between a noun and a verb. And
Insulting. Telling them they don't understand the difference between a noun and a verb.
Left out the solid part when he said expanse. He could have said salt. He could have said expanse, but he didn't clarify if it was solid or not.
Yeah, but he does left that out. He leaves it out, but you missed out. He's insulting them and saying, "Oh, you don't know the difference between a verb and a noun."
No, yeah, I heard that. There's no point to bring it up because just ad hom and just
this is like male and female. The
no,
noun,
definitely.
The pronoun. Do you understand? Like, this is the stupidest reasoning in the world.
Oh no, definitely.
And he is literally going to, that's a noun, but you must pronounce it in the pronoun.
These guys are definitely debating from emotions and not logic. At least from this point. Maybe in the presentation he was thinking, I got this. But
let's go to the pronoun, guys. That's the verb. Pronoun, verb. All right, let's go.
But the thing is, Sean and them weren't debating whether verb or pronoun. He was just giving the root word meanings.
Right.
The lexicons was giving what it means.
That's what I said. Obfuscating.
Yeah, he wasn't giving a verb or a noun or anything. He's just simply telling you, listen here, dude. Your expanse is a solid expanse.
Yeah.
That's it.
Understand that when you use things like Strong's, you don't understand that stuff because it's just not in there.
You don't understand. You don't understand. Oh, you guys don't understand. I am the scholar. You are not the scholar. You don't understand.
But he says it's not in there though. He says it's not in the Strong's. I showed how it gives the verb in Strong's, did I not?
Well, maybe I guess he has to see it for himself.
Maybe he doesn't know how. Maybe he doesn't know how the Strong's lexicons work.
But literally had it up there, beaten with a hammer, right?
Yeah, that's a verb.
Yeah, there it is. There's the verb, beaten with. How do you beat air again? I mean, seriously, this is insanity. Insanity. All right.
But you have 3 root letters in almost every Hebrew word, and they can be used as nouns and verbs. Rakia is a noun. Roka is the verb. All right.
Raka is the verb to beat out. Yeah. Rakia is the noun, explaining the solid expanse. In other words, Raka, God beat out. He made it, and the expanse, the solid expanse, Rakia, is the actual firmament as a finish.
And which one is actually translated? It's Rakia, not Raka. So why are you even invoking Raka when it says Rakia?
Because they're the other type of Raka. Foolish one.
So who's changing the meaning? You are, Douglas. Thank you.
I want to know, guys, what vault of heaven does Jesus walk upon? If it's not solid.
Got me.
You don't know the verb and the noun.
Oh man, this is insane.
And it means to expand. Now, if you could bring up my PowerPoint, I would appreciate that. This is from the Fawcett Bible Dictionary. All right, he says firmamentum or firmament.
Oh, this is even worse. Oh, Sean is going to piss him off even more now, by the way.
It's from the Vulgate. Firmamentum, Septuagint stereoma, is derived from firmness, but the Hebrew expresses no such notion, as if Moses thought the sky a hard, firm vault in which the heavenly bodies were fixed. The sky in Job 37:18 is termed strong as a molten-looking glass, namely a polished copper mirror, but it is not the solidity, but the transparent clearness and the smiling brightness, which is the point of comparison. Otherwise, how could birds fly in a solid? The language is figurative and phenomenal. Ezekiel 1:26, the throne is seen above the firmament, therefore the firmament must be transparent. Of course, it's talking about the expansion.
Did you not read earlier and show that it said the apparent, which is observational? It appears to be, the stars appear to be.
But I mean, he read it himself, Shamayim, okay, which is heavens. So he doesn't understand that it's interchangeable. There's interchangeable firmaments.
And he's trying to present the molten looking glass as phenomenological. It's like
this is exactly the same issue that other guy had on that came on the other night. They don't understand interchangeability when it comes to context.
They don't understand observation. They don't understand perception. They don't understand literally how math works itself or anything else. I mean, it's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way, in the same way that they don't say it's exactly like a tent, he just says it's not applying to this. He obviously understands the difference that it could be in context. So I don't know why he's so dishonest here.
Crazy.
A lot of different things. You know, there's.
But I mean, look at the dictionary. By the dictionary is using, guys. I'm actually glad Sean actually brought this out to him because he's using a biased dictionary that came out later, that was already based on a global worldview. Why don't you use the actual definitions from the words when they came out, the actual Hebrew definitions? Why are you trying to use something that's based on Latin?
And if I do remember, in his opening, he said we have to look to the people who came before us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just taking second.
There's too many things, obviously. You know, so you talk about the stars, okay, that the stars are going to fall, and that's one of the things that you want to say, look, this has to be something local. No, the word stars can refer to both angels and celestial bodies where they're burning gas or whatever they're doing up there. All right, so, you know, Alpha Centauri and all that stuff. Right, so we have Psalm 148 where it actually talks about these both in the same place, which is really awesome. Okay, so praise the Lord in the heavens, praise him all his angels, praise him all his hosts, praise him sun, moon, praise him all you stars of light. All right, so sometimes the word star can refer to an angel. Sometimes the word star refers to one of those things that we see up in the night sky. All right, so when the stars are going to fall from heaven at the end times, it's talking about angels.
Dr. Hamp, thank you very much. Just to keep it.
Did you hear that? He says when the stars are going to fall from heaven, so in other words, wormwood, it's the angels. Tell me where in Revelation says the angels are falling, please.
What was created on the fourth day and what we're singing in the heavens.
He's putting a false equivocation.
Created when it was void and without form.
He's taking it totally out of context. He's putting his own context into it.
Precisely.
Revelations is very explicit when the moon turns blood red, the sky turns dark, and the stars fall. You know why that is? Because it's burning. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah with the sulfur. Last time I checked, angels aren't made of sulfur, are they? No.
What about Isaiah 13:13? Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall be shall remove out of her place.
So he's taking it totally out of context, and he's saying because in context, it does explain the stars as angels as well. By the way, that's Enoch.
Yeah, I think I might know where he's talking about this. It's because the strong coordinates, angel and star. Oh wait, no, this would be stars. It's not even that. Never mind, I was wrong. This is.
He's taking the book of Enoch and he's conflating it into there.
Oh yeah, no, I thought he was talking about Revelation, where it talks about.
It's more dishonesty from him.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, I thought he was talking about Revelation, where it says. His tail drew a third of the stars of heavens and threw them.
Because this is his argument from if you're claiming the stars are falling to Earth, like the Bible says, and you've got a heliocentric model, all the stars are majorly more huge than the Earth itself. So how is it going to fall to Earth?
You would have to create a biblical heliocentric model, which doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't fit. So in other words, these stars have to shrink apparently in size before it hits Earth.
That's what I'm saying. You need to put your own interpretation on it. You have to either change the heliocentric model or change your view on what it actually.
Well, I have to change both actually.
Oh yeah,
you could.
Equally timed and fair. team 1, Sean and Ken, you got 2.5 minutes. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ken.
Sean, you want to follow? Okay. So, okay, I agree, Dr. Hamp, and you covered a lot there. That the scriptures do allude to this kind of interchangeable nature of the stars and angels. I agree, but I think the context would dictate when that should happen. And in the passages Sean brought up with regards to the day of the Lord, when this all takes place, in our opinion and our understanding of what happens when the great return of our Messiah comes, is that the literal firmament structure rolls back like a scroll, and all the things that are above it come down. Just like anything, like in a structure, you got something up above, if the floor is below, move, that stuff comes down. And so we see that the stars literally do fall down to the earth. Nowhere in those passages are we to indicate that the stars above are referring to angels, though. It doesn't say that. No. Especially when it's in the same context of the sun and the moon. It's referring to the celestial bodies above. Now, we can talk about angels all we want and where they're at and how they play a role and all that stuff, but I just don't think that that's what the passages in Isaiah and the Gospels, when Yeshua is referring to it, is that that's what it's indicating, in my opinion. I don't know how you want to comment on that, but I just don't see how, again, this is good.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's up to you guys, because you do still have a minute left on team 1. I don't know if you guys...
Can we tag team in? Come off the top.
Can I say one thing?
If you want to tag in.
Yeah. That was kind of irritating me a little bit with team 1 here or whatever.
Yeah, team 1 and team 2. Yeah, it was a bit.
Yeah. So Ken and them, the only thing that I found was they kept agreeing, which allowed them, team 2, to basically come out and say, well, I agree with everything that you say. So once they agreed and they tried to find a middle ground, then the other team 2, started to do basically the same exact thing. And they were trying to play the tactics of, well, we agree exactly what you agree too, so we should be on the same team and all this. But
yeah,
they really should have just stuck down and sunk their teeth and made it clear to the audience exactly what it says, and not given an inch. Because once the enemy gets 1 inch, he's going to take a mile. And that's exactly what they did. So that was my only disagreement in this whole thing, that I was watching and I was like, why did you, this is like the turning point, in my opinion, of the whole debate.
Yeah, because
and the other guy, Douglas face right here, because he's already smiling because he has said that, and now he's like, now I got you.
Yeah, because you've agreed with him. Yeah,
you've agreed with him.
Yeah,
like,
you can't fight me. I'm also a Christian. Us Christian brothers shouldn't fight each other. Yeah.
No, they shouldn't have given an inch. They just gave an inch, and they messed up at this very point. So that's my opinion, but
no, I agree. Because it did get it into a circle jerk just because of this.
This is a psychological debate.
Yeah.
Sean, for another minute. Now, that I should say, you guys don't have to take the 2 minutes, but you are allotted that. So, Sean, why don't we tag you in? You get about a minute, and then we'll throw it back to you, Dr. Hamp.
Yeah, Dr. Hamp, during your statements, you talked about, you made the claim that the word firmament as a solid structure only came around in the 1900s. Again, that's just not historically true from any piece of literature we have from Christian history, nor from the multitude of documents we have from the Law and the Prophets and the Apostles and the early church fathers. You brought up the Fawcett Bible, the Bible Dictionary, the Fawcett Bible Dictionary, literally first written in 1910. That was his definition, 1910. We've already had 100+ years of heliocentric indoctrination to that point.
Yep.
This is why they started creating gap theory already by that point for theistic evolution. So you're literally appealing to a particular dictionary's definition within the same time frame that you claimed of the firmament. That's just inconsistent. So I don't understand that. Also, I would love for you guys to be able to address at some point the very literal nature of the kingdom come, of the firmament being rolled back like a scroll, 2 Peter 3:10, that the elements are dissolved with fiery heat, as well as the New Jerusalem that's measured with human measurements, according to Revelation 21:15-17, that's coming down out of heaven. So, I'll just throw those things out there for future discussion.
I'd gladly do that.
Okay, team 2, you get 2 minutes. Go ahead. Scott, let
Yeah,
me
you're
just
muted,
unmute
buddy.
you, and then we'll restart your timer.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like you're muted on your end, Scott. So feel free to click the unmute button, and you're good to go. 2 minutes.
I was doing that for good reason. So anyway.
Yeah, we know what that reason is. Yep.
You're scared.
Because he
You don't know.
knows he
You
can't
have a
control
good enough
himself.
muzzle.
Yeah, look at that shit-eating grin. I'm sorry.
I'll continue to mute myself, but I'm glad Sean brought up 2 Peter chapter 3, because there are two things. This is talking about the return of Yeshua, and that is one of my favorite topics is prophecy, and I do believe that.
Okay, why is he talking about this now?
Yeah, Yeshua.
He's obfuscating. This is obfuscation tactics.
That's
Remember
why I
he
said.
asked-
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I said
remember-
his whole point here is to filibuster.
Yeah. Remember he asked now, can you explain that when Jesus comes, how the sky is going to roll up like a scroll? You understand? That's the whole thing. But now he's trying to talk about, let's talk about the prophecy of Jesus coming. That's not the point being presented.
So hold on, I'm reading some of the comments, and I'm just wondering, Thomas Bobby G, is that what's his name? Dave, is that you? Thomas, is your name Dave? Yeah, because I'm reading some of these now. I haven't really gone through them, but a lot of these look like it might be Dave might have joined us, but he's afraid to join in. But Dave, if that is you, please.
Dave that you were talking about.
Yeah.
From email.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at some of these, and it appears to be the same. Yeah, same way that you talk. So, Dave, if that's you, Thomas Bobby G, please, you already know the link. We've already sent it to you. Please join in because we'd love to discuss.
No, I mean Bobby comes in quite often. I don't think.
Oh, is it another one? Okay, it might have been the same. Okay. All right.
But anyway, that Dave, if he is watching sometime, Dave, you did get my formal invite to come on, and be great to have a discussion.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
No, he said it's not him anyway.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, PJ.
No problem.
I'll be quiet.
That with a day with the Lord being just as 1,000 years as a day. I believe Yeshua is returning soon. I'm not dogmatic on that, but there. In that passage, Peter warns of two things and only two things regarding deception. He warns that in the latter days, men will deny the creation. And again, Doug and
we'll deny the creation. What do you think you guys are doing?
What exactly what you're doing? Wow, isn't that ironic? It came out of your mouth.
Yeah. But you see, this is how they see it in context. Like, if people are denying the creation because they believe in the Big Bang and evolution and things. But the Christians who are claiming to be Christians are doing the same thing if you believe you live on a heliocentric ball. You're denying God's creation.
I feel like a deception wouldn't be for a small majority of maybe a few 100,000 people. I feel like the deception would be much greater than that. That's what we see with the heliocentric lie.
I speak over people. I'm so sorry. That's a bad.
No,
habit.
it's all right, man. It's okay. Go ahead.
No, I'm just admitting it. All right. So my question would be, why is God so sincere about bringing his glory to earth only and not to the rest of the universe, quote unquote? Because all throughout Revelation, he's talking about the glory in earth, the glory on earth, the glory, so on and so forth. So why wouldn't he be speaking of all the other, if we're out there, supposedly, in Mars and everything else, why wouldn't his glory be out in Mars? Why wouldn't it be in Venus? Why wouldn't it be at the sun? It's only on earth. Does none of that matter? And also, if that's the case, then why did it matter if we went to heaven in the first place with Babel?
And the heliocentric model obviously proposes that, at least modern science proposes that we have found some form of life on other planets. So that form of other life must be exposed to the graciousness of Yahweh, which doesn't happen because it's ever expanding.
our guests on the panel are all biblical creationists. We all believe in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Secondly, they are warned that they will deny the judgment of the flood. Again, Dr. Hamp and I agree. Had Peter warned that at the latter part of time, there would be a deception over the shape of his creation or the shape of the heavens, and that we should be warned that, Scripture clearly teaches that the earth is flat and it's surrounded by a hard bubble dome. Then you know what? I would probably very likely be, because I have studied this, I have examined it. I would probably be the same as you two. We just have a different hermeneutic. And again, when we're talking about that, specifically 2 Peter 3, there's only 2 warnings given. And just real quick, as I throw back a question to y'all, even in the King James, it says.
But notice, Sean asked a question. He didn't answer it now. Now he's asking a question back to him.
Yeah.
That's why I said it was just obfuscation tactic.
Yeah.
Because now it's like brushed over the question asked, and now he's going to ask a question back. And I've seen this so many times in debates. It's happened. That's why people don't understand when I try and push someone on something. If I've asked a question and they want to obfuscate, I literally tell them, listen, I asked you a question. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And people get irritated with that. But it's because of things like this.
It was like the Witsit debate last night, if you guys watched that as well.
Yeah,
I don't even want to.
I did. And I will admit, Flatzoid, I like your approach. I can tell that you kind of took your approach from like a Christian apologist, just in the way that you don't really let things get past your way. Like I know, especially Jay Dyer's something he does like that, and he obviously gets people raging at him all the time. So yeah, it makes sense.
That's why he's so hated, because that Jay, he's great with debates.
But that's the exact same tactic, not letting them obfuscate, get away. You have to stick to the point, and then it's the same thing like when he's arguing the transcendental argument. If they don't give an ought, he keeps repeating, well, what's the ought? Mm-hmm. Right? It's a problem when these guys don't do it, because
if you want to watch a great debate, recently Jay Dyer and Sam Shamoun were actually debating against Daniela Kikachu and some other Muslim guy. It was quite, yeah.
Keep putting that butter knife out until you butter them biscuits. That's all it is. And they keep moving them, but just keep going. That's it until you get a butter them.
Yeah. Roger Ledwell, thank you for another $2 super chat, man. Really appreciate it. He says, no, there are not biblical creationists.
Yeah.
Robo Roger, you rock. Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate it, Roger. You're awesome.
Biblical sationists. It's a sensation because the Bible is being disrupted.
Yeah. Well, we've got the votes going in the chat. 85 votes so far. Biblical cosmology shows a stationary enclosed plane. Yes, 76%. No, 24%. Ooh.
Let's get the nose on.
Birds fly in this firmament. Y'all have strongly argued that the firmament means a solid shell, a dome. And yet Scripture says birds fly in it. Now,
no, Scripture says birds fly in the Shemaim, the heaven. There are more than one heaven. There's a firmament and there's more than one heaven.
Remember when Paul went to the third heaven?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I wonder if there's maybe one or two, Yes. Clearly, he just took his buddy's points and reiterated them. What is that? Ad hoc? Yeah.
2 Peter 3:10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are with therein shall be burned up.
Yep.
2 Peter 3:10.
our position is that this firmament is an expanse. There is an end to the heavens. There is an end to creation. We all agree on that. In other words, creation is finite. Only the Father who exists outside of space and time would be considered infinite outside of creation. And so that's good. But I want to know how birds fly in this hard shell.
How do you live
It doesn't fly. That's exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't fly. It's like taking a glass ball and turning it upside down. Has anybody ever like caught a bug or something before? Let's say a fly, and you've taken a ball and or a spider, and just placed the ball on top of it on the ground. That spider's running around inside the bowl. Is it in the bowl, like in the glass, or is it in the bowl?
It's in the,
yeah, I guess I would have to hold on.
And that's the same with the birds. There we go. Snow globe.
Are these inside of the firmament, or are they in the what we would consider the heavens?
They're embedded in the glass. They're moving bits of snow are embedded in the glass.
It's moving because it's moving.
They're riveted to the glass.
Team one?
Yeah, very simple. Sean, I can take this one. Scott, it refers to the open firmament, right? So it's, if I can just simply provide like a mental picture for you, just take a table and take like a bowl and put the bowl underneath, like flip it and just put it on the table. And with
he says the same thing. There we go. I didn't realize that. Okay.
In that area is where the birds would be flying.
Okay.
That's called Shemaim, by the way.
Shemaim,
That is the Shemaim. Shemaim and firmament are the same thing.
Interchangeable. Yeah, they're interchangeable in context. That's why you have to understand what the context is. So again, Doug just debunked his own argument.
Yeah.
Because Shemaim is the open expanse. Rakia, firmament, is the solid expanse.
I wasn't saying like that's not what it means. It's just it's knowing what he means, because every time he brings up it, he just directly correlates it to the solid firmament.
Yeah. But do you get what he just say? He just conflated the two, so he just debunked himself. Because Shemaim is the open expanse, which is in the open heavens, which is the sky, and Rakia, which is the firmament, is the solid expanse.
I don't think I've seen a single Bible scholar be this dishonest with context.
It's crazy.
We're agreeing with you. We agree that the heavens.
Here we go.
Yeah. Let's.
That's what you're saying. We're agreeing with you.
That's what I'm saying, because they opened up the agreement. That was the downturn of that entire debate. Because now they're just going to use the same thing. That was the guy's smile, Douglas.
And buttered biscuits. May I applaud you for this? At 38 minutes and 50 seconds in, the same guy said, "Flat Earth, dumb cosmology."
Yep, that's it. That's right. Yeah.
And we agree with the same. And these are flat earthers, of course. So the point is, well, we agree with it. You agree with the dumb cosmology? Wow.
Oh, true. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
So I've got to pause. So you're at about 25 seconds. Ken, you got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, the open Shemaim, the heavens, right? But again, what I said in my opener was that the firmament that Yahweh created to divide the waters above from below was given a name. It's the Shemaim. That's a name. All right? We're talking about they're equal. They're the same thing. I have a house. It's made of different materials. I'm not going to call my house a drywall, nail, brick thing. It's got a name. So that's what Yahweh did when he created the structure of the firmament. He gave it the name heaven. It's Genesis 1:8. It's right there for us. So when the birds are flying in the open Shemaim, it's literally just within the actual structure itself, flying above our earth plane.
And the KJV directly calls it the face of the heaven, across the face of the firmament in the old KJV. So again, when you look up and you see, you're going to see the face of the firmament from your perspective on the ground. So that's it makes it. So let's put this particular argument to bed. You brought this up multiple times in the past, Scott, and we're directly addressing it. We can move on to other topics.
Well, could I respond at this point?
Actually,
Hold
just because you decide you want to move on to another topic.
How's that? Just because you decide you want to move into other topics.
Projection.
He's saying let's just put it to bed because we've like shown you to be wrong.
I must shut you off right now because you're about to speak truth. I must shut it down and project my own opinions and what I feel, because my feelings matter.
Now let's see. He either becomes a hypocrite again, which he has multiple times, and obfuscates from this point, which would just be antithetical to why he's calling him. He's like, you're going away, but he's going away from the same subject if he doesn't answer. So,
I don't know what their hang up is on birds, guys. They certainly have a hang up with them.
See, you got a badge for them that you can flip.
So does the papacy, but that's okay.
I mean, the scriptures
I got some good stuff here.
fly in this firmament, and you want it to be just a hard bubble dome, except when you don't. And that's what you're doing here. You're
Nope, I always want it.
Can you mute yourself, please?
But he overtalks them.
And Daddy got mad, didn't he?
You guys remember, Sean was busy saying his statement. Scott.
Yeah, and literally he just overrode it, and he's like, no, I took it over. Can you mute yourself? Because because my projections, I just got buttered, and now I must project out what I must speak.
That's exactly. Sean was busy making his statements like, let's put this to bed. And then Scott interrupted him. And I told him he must shut up.
Precisely. I own this. And then he's going to defer to Douglas. Watch.
Yeah. Are we still on the format?
Yeah, I'll restart it right now. We got exactly 2 minutes now for Scott and Dr. Hamp. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Doug.
Which I don't agree with what Donnie just did there, by the way. Because he should have let Sean finish his argument first. Because he was interrupted by Scott.
Yeah.
He has the AE map. Is he also a flurf?
Ken, yeah, he's a flat earther.
Okay, yeah, no, that would make sense because it seems as if people like this Jeranism, they just try to give it to other person as to be like, try to seem neutral. It's good optics.
No, as soon as I seen that Ken talking, I have seen him before.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I would gladly. When the heavens are going to open, we have 4 distinct places in Scripture where it says that the heavens were opened. So Ezekiel sitting by the river Chebar with the captives of Judah says that the heavens were opened. Then at the baptism of Jesus, the heavens were opened. At the stoning of Stephen.
Do you understand, Douglas, what you're just doing? You're just conceding. The heavens were open. You know what those heavens open, Shemaim? Do you know that's sky where the birds fly?
No, I got a question for you. If you can open a heaven, you can close it too, right?
This is again to go back to that point of yes, we agree to you. That he knows exactly what he's doing because he's going to say yes, and we agree with you, but he doesn't. That's the whole point. He's trying to obfuscate from the point.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Oh, it's insane. Okay, I think we're gonna end this year.
Cool.
57.
Having a good time. Come on now.
Wow. But we're definitely gonna do a multi.
We at least got to get to the dumb part.
We're gonna get there in the second part.
What's that? But you're gonna have to remember where it is. You gotta make a note.
5750. There we go.
No, 3850. 3850. No?
The dumb part, yeah, 3850.
Yeah, where he calls it out as dumb, and then they get to that. And,
yeah,
it's actually coming out very soon, if I remember correctly.
I'll do it this way so it shows on screen.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah, because that'll be in there for tomorrow.
So yeah, tomorrow night it's PJ's turn for stream.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. Hey, we're still in Daniel, I think. Yeah, we're still in that Daniel thing from that Martin guy, Martin Isles. Yeah,
I was talking to Ironworks earlier today, right before this actually, and we're doing a little presentation if you guys are interested in health or wealth. So myself, I've got another guy. If you guys are interested in some, I get nothing out of this, okay? I get no penny and anything else. It's what I believe, and I believe health. And you guys are interested, then join Ironworks tomorrow night around 8 p.m. I'll give a quick, maybe 20 or 30-minute like presentation I just put together last night, and I'm going to hand it over, and it's going to be questions, answers, and all of that. So he was supposed to show up tonight, but he's got some issues with his, anyway, he can explain it to you, but it's his water filter at home. So he was out and about trying to find another piece so we can get that fixed. But so if you guys are interested, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and that'll be on. I'm going to probably be quieter most of the time. And I have a presentation basically to point out for anybody that's kind of late. My point doesn't really matter. It's the point that Andy, the other guy that is joining us, he has a wealth of information on this. And it's more like presenting him because I think you guys would be wild. So if anybody wants to learn about health and alternative health remedies, come along.
Awesome. Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Ironworks.
And then PJ, you say your show is about?
Yeah, I've got one in the morning, which is 8 a.m., and then I've got the one at your time. So in morning is just a random one, and night time it's Daniel, second part of the Daniel.
Nice.
At normal time, at Flax's time.
Oh, Ironworks just popped in now. How's that?
Nice.
Hey team, what's happening, y'all? Y'all looking
yourself,
good today.
Yeah.
All right.
I heard you're having some issues.
Oh yeah, man. It's my stupid old water filter. My the water filter going into my house and everything. It's just a pain in the butt. I had to go ahead and I had to buy a strap wrench because the wrench that they give me with the filter, it's like that fitted one. You attach underneath and it's like, the plastic nonsense.
Yeah.
And so that thing just snapped. And I'm like, of course, I was just waiting. I was looking at it. I was just waiting for it to break. I was like, look at this piece of junk that they give me with this damn filter, man. They must be out their mind. Yeah. So
but they do it on purpose. It's making man. It doesn't hold.
Yeah. They're like, oh, this is made out of butter. So this should work just fine. Like once maybe. Right. It's made out of like Toll House crackers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you gotta be out your mind. Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is the best top of the line. And they're like, don't apply too much pressure or else it'll break. It's like, I could apply a tiny amount of pressure. It's gonna break. I sneeze on it, it breaks anyway. It doesn't matter. Yeah, man, it's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
So what's cooking for today?
Oh, we're busy ending off now, actually.
Oh, of course, I show up nice and
we're reviewing a debate. A political debate. That's actually quite good. We're going to do part 2, definitely, and a part 3 probably.
Oh, the debate happened already?
Yeah. It was biblical cosmology debate.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was actually quite good.
John from Kingdom of Context. So
yeah,
and others, of course, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was actually debating a Hebrew story. What a scholar that doesn't actually know the words he's presenting, which is weird.
It's strange.
And then another guy that just shouldn't even be there.
It's strange how these people make these. It's strange how these people profess that they know they have all these credentials, and then they show up, and then they're like, they come with their hands empty. It's like, man, you came with absolutely no gunpowder, empty-handed.
Right. Yep. It's like, I'll supply the cannons for you, but
they're smart.
Yeah, right. They want to come fight, but they're asking you for the ammo.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
got extra bullets, though. You got extra bullets like a hole. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that debate between Whitsitt and Darnell, but it's I can see it's a similar. There's similarities in this one. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't even know why Austin Whitsitt still debates. I just think it's such a waste of time.
I think he just feels like he's the head of the flat Earth debate, and he feels like he's the best representative. So he just wants to debate as much as he can.
Well,
I've seen him more concentrate now on geocentrism more than flat Earth. So I don't know if he's like kind of cop out to say, yeah, I'm moving to a geocentric kind of view.
Maybe it's easy to stick people, I think, is what his view is.
Because he usually loves talking to ether, but like when he debated that guy, he was like, "No, we're not debating gravity, man."
There's a few things on there where he had the perfect opportunity to talk about a vacuum and this and that.
He doesn't want to talk about that. He
didn't even bring about it. I was like, why? There are like, you could have just slammed them right there, but why'd you let it go?
No, he loves talking about the kinematics equation, and if he can stick some ether in there, that's what he talks about.
He was, because Darnell kept on bringing up, well, show me the the drop rate with the kinematic equation. He was like, well, you can, and he just never did. It was just kind of like, which makes sense because if you never give the Globey what they want, like a dog barking for meat, then they never just are. They're never full. They're always hungry for more.
And just quickly,
and then it's like kind of like what you mentioned, Bud, is anytime they bring that math up, the math, and it's like, okay, here's some math. It don't curve. How about some math with the distance? It don't curve, and it don't curve at all. Like that's why I'm like, these debates, like they're nice for show and glitzy, like especially when it comes to those super wordy and super scientific things. Maybe that's not the proper term to use, but hear me out. Like when it comes to that, it's like, man, like all you have to say is it's not curving. Here's the evidence, and we could do it over and over again.
And they'll go to anything. In the video I posted, I had a clip of Flazoid and some other guy debating these two people, and the guy said, it was on the moon landing. He said, you know, obviously paper doesn't have this, you know, it will rip, obviously, the pressure to get into fake space or even a jet. And then the debater says, show me the math for that, Dustin.
Oh.
Yeah.
I watched that debate. That was a good one.
I just made up tomorrow night's stream. It's in chat.
I was thinking, guys, because there's a lot of people in the chat which disagree with each other on the gospel of Jesus. Would you guys actually want to come in and debate it sometime?
Amen.
Yeah, I've been glancing at chat. There's like a few people going
It's quite hectic. I mean,
Thomas Bobby, I'm calling you out right now, brother, because you sound like Dave, but you said who's Dave, so you sound like my other buddy, Dave. Why don't you come on out?
I think you got Tommy.
But yeah, like I said,
what?
But the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of us don't agree with each other on things, but it doesn't mean you have to, attack each other the way it's being attacked, and they're like calling someone not a Christian or something just because you don't agree with them.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be more productive if we actually come in and actually have a discussion about it, debate about it, and then we work on it like that. Because obviously no one's going to agree with everything together.
The keyboard warriors prove nothing.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Why does he have 333 for a icon? That's what I want to know.
It's to make fun of this 666.
Oh, okay. Weird that.
But yeah, guys, I think it was an awesome stream.
Can I give Iron a minute to plug his channel? I would.
Yes, please.
Go for it, Iron. For tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. So tomorrow,
we've been talking back and forth, and he can discuss, and we've gone further into this. So
totally.
He thinks is better than what I think.
Yes. So tomorrow isn't just the Urbano Monte third quadrant map, but we're gonna kick it off with health being wealth. You understand? And it's very, very. This is probably one of my more important shows. Very, very important. I feel that everybody and anybody, whether you're flat, you're of the globe, as long as you're a human being, you need to watch this episode. You understand? Buttered Biscuits and another gentleman is going to be on giving the lowdown as to why tomorrow's episode is going to be big. I don't know if you want me to kind of give them a taste of what it is, like just well, we're going to be discussing we're going to discuss a little bit on hydrogen water, right? And why it's so important, right? Not too many of us, and the gas. So not too many of us know about it, but we're definitely going to get the leg up. We're going to learn about it tomorrow for those of us that don't already know about it, and those of us that have an idea of what it does and what it is. We're going to learn a little bit more, and we're going to get it straight from the horse's mouth. You understand? And so, why is that important? Like I said, your health is your wealth. We got this nonsense, monkey pox, chicken pox, bird pox, don't matter, gorilla pox, don't matter. They got all kinds of nonsense coming down the street.
That's
right?
That's Ian's link. That's Ian's link in the chat. There.
I was gonna say,
thanks, guys.
I was gonna say, it's very hard to be healthy in this world because I mean, like 90% of countries have train track clouds. If you know what I mean.
It's very difficult to be healthy, but at least this will give you, this is just a form of empowering you. You know what I'm saying? As far as information and where to get the stuff. So that's where Buttered Biscuits and the gentleman comes in tomorrow to discuss these key critical factors, what to get, what it does, where to get it, how to get it. And it gets right to you and you can take care of yourself. So tomorrow's a big one.
Let them just know what time it is.
Yes, it's going to be tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Work for you, Butters?
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes,
Eastern Standard Time, EST.
Eastern Standard Time. So I think you're 6 hours ahead, right? So that would be what, 2 in the morning for you, Flats?
Yeah. For me, it's early.
It's so late. It's early out this mug for Flats. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's going to be.
I'm in bed, unfortunately, that time.
The other gentleman is going to be joining. He's going to give. I'm sure he will be more than happy to give his information or at least an email to give him. And I pinky promise you guys, I ain't getting no penny. I'm not associated, not affiliated, nothing. This is basically the information that I met this brother about 7-8 years ago. I met him at a lunch at church. And he lives about an hour.
But that's what all salesmen say, you know.
I know. Here we go. Yeah. All right. I'm trying. I'm not getting nothing, but I'm serious. I promise you guys that I'm just like I'm on here.
What do you guys?
I'm on here to get views so that I can help Flatzoid. I'm on here to help Ironworks. I'm on here to help Zoff. And PJ, I think your timing maybe I gotta figure out because yours.
If it's 2 for Flats, it's 1 for me in the 1 in the morning for me. So
PJ,
that's probably why I haven't joined yet.
My stream will be finished, so I should, if I'm awake, I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
What time is normally?
Because PJ streams early in my morning, and then he streams in the night as well tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So it's
all right. So Eastern time. What time do you stream normally, PJ? Because I'll be happy to join. I don't even have a channel anymore. I'm happy with that. So.
Usually, I mean, I either stream 8 a.m. GMT or 2 p.m. GMT in general. But on a Tuesday, I stream twice. So either 8 a.m. GMT, 2 p.m. GMT, but also 8 p.m. GMT. So
and your channel is?
Same as my name, Peach. I'll put my link.
PJ Cruikshank, yeah. The link is in the chat.
The last link, that's my live.
I think I've already subscribed, but I'm going to make sure.
And then there's one more channel we should shout out. Nate, guys.
Yeah.
He brought out a video recently. Very good. Guys, great stuff.
Yeah, I like that one. It was a good video. I liked it.
I'm thinking, like I told Flatzoid, I'm thinking like I was going to do the occult videos, but I actually might... if YouTube doesn't give me the streaming access, then I think I might start streaming on Rumble and just link it in like a community post on my channel or something. Basic stuff going into like Manly P Hall, the organs being planets, just kind of weird occult stuff. And then also reacting to videos, and I'm probably going to go online, red pilling people on video calls.
Nice.
Yeah,
And the reason I'm
everybody
doing it on Rumble is because if I go on those video call sites to talk to people, if there's a chance of something slipping up, my YouTube channel doesn't get banned. So
Smart idea. Rumble's a good one for now.
I've got his link there, but I'll get it.
Oh, sure. Thanks, PJ.
Amazing.
yeah, Kick is full of degenerates. Rumble is the only, I guess, truth site.
But
You ever
yeah,
try BitChute?
Oh, BitChute. Oh, yeah, no, I've seen BitChute, but like no one streams on there. Barely.
Yeah, man.
They used to. What happened?
But anyway, yeah, guys, do make sure you keep up to date with everybody. Do subscribe.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I do already have to go now.
Yes, you
So,
got it.
I'm gonna put a voting poll up so you guys can choose for Wednesday stream.
That's
Do
Nate's
you
link
do
there.
part two of this, or you want to do the Dell dismantling. So make sure you vote. I will put up the voting tomorrow, and we'll see what you guys choose. But we're definitely going to be doing a part 2 and probably a part 3 of this that we did tonight as well, because it's still a lot to go through. But yeah. So thanks all for coming. Make sure to support everybody. Make sure to be there on Peaches tomorrow and on Ironworks for his very, very important healthy thing. What do you guys have to lose? Be there.
That's it, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
And family's invited as well. Family is invited. Everybody.
Awesome.
And there's Nate's YouTube link in chat.
Amazing.
Very
Take this thing seriously, guys. So